What's up, you guys? I'm early. I've been doing pretty good at being early to these. I feel like the first 10 minutes we can just do a little recap, see who's here. What are you guys up to? Do you have any questions for me before we get started on the menu questions? We'll start doing menu questions in like 10 minutes. How have you guys been? Who all's here? I see D and Levia on. How we doing, fam? Say something in the chat so I know that I'm not glitching. I should turn off my Patreon there. That's better. I don't know if there was an echo there for a moment. Oh, hi guys. So, has anyone been playing any fun video games lately? I can't wait to tell you guys about how obsessed I am with Hogwarts and what a nerd I am now. Also, I didn't know that it was a thing that when you start struggling in a game, you become addicted to how-to videos on YouTube. I don't know if any of you guys have experienced this phenomenon, but I have two things up now. Whenever I play my game, I'm like video gaming and I'm also watching how to beat certain levels, and it's actually kind of hard. Like this Hogwarts Legacy thing, there's all these like magical games that you have to play and like beat them. I should stream it. I really should. You guys would be blown away at how much I actually don't suck. Like I have mastered killing goblins and trolls, and I'm pretty proud of myself. Now, whenever I walk into a fight, I don't even get nervous. I'm like, oh, you guys are fucked. You guys have no idea the magical wizardry that you're about to encounter. And then I slay everybody and I don't even die. So I don't want to brag. I'm not trying to brag, but I might be the best Harry Potter that has ever entered Hogwarts. Just saying that's a possibility. Oh, I'm so glad you liked my ad. Thank you, Ed. It wasn't really a humble brag. You know that ad that I did for that mask was actually took me all day to do. If you watch it, you see that I did different scenes wearing that mask. Let's talk about how I was in the grocery store with that mask on, just strolling through, and people were like, "What is this girl doing? Is she about to rob Whole Foods?" And I was like, "No, I'm just shooting an ad." Shout out from Pensacola, Florida. Sounds like a wandering Coca-Cola. Pensa. Doesn't that mean like thought? Pensive? Anyway, that's where my brain went. You know what? I have this whole entire setup for streaming. I just don't know. I just don't turn it on. I'm actually embarrassed to tell you guys the truth. I feel like no one's going to want to watch me play Hogwarts. I feel like y'all are going to want to watch me play something way more interesting. But all I do is just these quests all day long. And I just don't want to bore anyone to tears or get a bad rep for being a boring video gamer. So I just don't turn it on. Do I need to get over that? Do I need to just get over that and if you choose to be bored with me, you can be bored, and if not, then we all win? Okay, if you guys would watch me play it, you should play other games on that's what I was thinking. I have what is it? Spider-Man and Grand Theft Auto. I just want to finish Hogwarts. I'm so close to finishing Hogwarts. I just want to finish it. So if you guys could just bear with me, I'll start streaming it. See, is Spider-Man 2 more fun? I haven't even opened it. It's like still in the plastic wrap. Grand Theft Auto 2025. I guess I should start playing this version so I know what's up before it comes out. Sorry I'm yawning, you guys. I don't sleep much anymore these days. Playing too much Harry Potter. All right, team. We're 4 minutes early to this. Sal Vulcano coming on the show tomorrow. Now, as you guys know, we got to keep it around dating. All the questions have to be somewhat to do with dating. So if there's any, like, that can be whether like advice that he would give someone in a certain situation, or advice that he would give but never take. I should be writing these down. What we have to ask him questions about dating. I know that he has a wife or like a girlfriend, someone very serious in his life, but he doesn't like to talk about it. So I know that he's not going to want to talk about his personal relationship. I do know that. Would he take his first date for gabagool sandwiches? What is that? Impractical Jokers? I should find that out. Hold on. I want to say yes. Yes. Yes, from Impractical Jokers. Do you know about how many surnames historically were given based on a person's profession, what they're known for? What? I'm going to ask him, where is the worst place to take a first date? Where is the worst place to take a first date? I'm going to try to write a little slower so that my producer can read my handwriting tomorrow. I feel like he can never read it. What if the question is more generalized instead of specifics? Like, how do you navigate the balance between humor and sincerity when trying to connect with someone romantically? That still feels kind of serious. I feel like you have to be yourself. I'm answering this for him. If he's played any pranks. Oh, I can ask him if he's a prankster in relationships. Are you a prankster in relationships? 2 down. Hi, Joe. Tara Clay, this is researching, sort of. And no, I don't like dive into my guests. I'm not a journalist. I have my guests come on, and usually they tell me all about themselves, and I think it's actually more fun to learn off the cuff. It feels a little bit more spontaneous. Plus, I always get like a brief on someone a little bit before the show. It's okay. It's never hindered me before. To be honest, I don't even know what Impractical Jokers is. I guess I should research that. Touche. He's a germaphobe, hypochondriac with ADHD. How about, did he use a dating app? I like that question. That's always a good one. I'll ask him, how do you feel about dating apps? Is it okay to talk about sexual position preferences on a first date? I guess it really depends on how that date is going. Uh, I think it would be like, I'm sure it's okay to talk about it, but it'd be like a little weird. Like, how do you break that ice? Like, talking to someone about that? Like, usually I feel like it's kind of taboo to talk about sex on a first date, but maybe it's not. Um, have there been any dating experiences that uh, have there been any dating experiences that have influenced your sense of humor or your approach to relationships? There's a good question in there. How is dating like shaped your, or how has, have there been any dating experiences that have influenced your sense of humor or your approach to relationships? I like this one. How has dating has dating shaped your humor at all? Has dating shaped your humor at all? That's kind of fun. I've never asked that before. Ask him if his friends from the show ever pranked him while he was on a date. TJ. Was Kim Congdon the guest who didn't like Texas barbecue? No. I don't think so. I don't remember her ever saying she didn't like barbecue. What's the red flag question? Ask him if he was set up with a woman who was a bearded lady in the circus. Oh, if he was set up with a woman who was a bearded lady in the circus, but when she shaved, she was absolutely gorgeous, would he go out with her? As a male jokester, are you sensitive when the female gets you good? I like that. I like asking him if he feels like he's sensitive because I do think he's like pretty sensitive. I can just ask him like, "Would you consider yourself a sensitive person?" Would you consider yourself a sensitive person? It's a show where him and his three friends dare one another to do something while having an hidden eyepiece where a friend is telling them what to do and say, okay, isn't that kind of an old show? I feel like I've seen that. Ask him how he would go about approaching someone he's interested in. I think you could, I'm going to turn this brightness up on my computer. Why am I struggling? Gets a different perspective from the ones who don't have game to the ones that do. How do you approach someone you're interested in? Great question. Very simple. How do you approach someone you are interested in? Would you avoid dating someone who has been on a dating app for way too long? You know what that reminds me of? You know when you're like I mean, when you put your house on the market, you want to like sell your house fast, because if your house is on the market for like over a certain amount of days, it like loses value. I feel like that question reminds me of like how people are. Like if you've been on this dating app forever, are you kind of dusty? Um, I feel like I can do that as a second question about the dating app one. How do you feel about dating apps? Would Well, how did you say it? Would you avoid dating someone who's been on a dating app for way too long? Would you? That's so funny. Avoid dating someone who has been on a dating app for way too long? Great question. Are there any deal breakers or red flags that you've identified through dating? Do you like yourself? We know what comics always say. Ask if any woman has ever broke up with him, and if so, why? Hello, Anon. What was your most fun vacation? Ask if he was nervous. His friends were playing over hang out when he goes on a date with someone. I'll say that. Since he has that show, have your friends ever played a prank on you on a first date? Indonesia, whoa. Has any of his pranks led to a date or relationship? It would be great if dating apps had a shelf life listed on your profile. Like it makes an assessment of you and says you get 60 days to find someone, and then it cuts you off for 6 months. You know what? They should do that. It puts the pressure on taking it seriously, you know? Have you ever even asked a guest if they got a pet to meet people? I've never asked anyone that. That's such a good question, though. Paraplegic or amputee? Are you trying to get me canceled, Blake? Does he like dating in person or digitally? Hey, Nate. Yes, Reed, I've seen the rain. Fahad, we are talking about Sal Vulcano. First date, no one is come over to my house. Does anyone believe in zodiac signs, love connection? Does he believe in zodiac sign love connections? That's a really good one. I always love asking people that, especially someone like him. Do you believe in zodiac sign love connections? How much screen time is acceptable on a first date? Ooh, what a good question. How much screen time is acceptable on a first date? Boom. I bet he says none. Do dating apps have a rating section like Yelp? You know what? I think that they should. I feel like I'm going to also ask him that. Do you think dating apps should have a rating section or like reviews, a rating section where you can leave a review after you go out with someone. Because honestly, I feel like other people need to know. You know, like if some girl went out with this guy and he was just like such a creeper and she could write on there like, hey, beware, this guy's really hot but he's super fucking creepy, like all he likes to talk about is like his foot fetish, like I'd want to know that before like swiping on someone, because I don't want to go to dinner and hear someone talk about their foot fetish on the first date. Like I don't know why we don't have a system where people don't leave reviews. I feel like this is a no-brainer. Oh, yeah, I agree. The crowd hound. Um, how much money do you make? I don't think I can ask someone that so bluntly. I can ask him that in a different way. How much money do you want your wife to make? Have you ever absolutely destroyed a toilet somewhere and just left? I'm talking like Taco Bell shit tornado. Okay, Nate. Um, I could always ask like, do you poop in public? And you know what he's gonna say? Why does that pertain to a first date? Well, thank you, Unboxing. That's so nice of you to say. You just discovered my show and you think I'm a great interviewer. Thanks. Do you think dating should be long term or short term? I think you should always date the person you're with. Big advocate for that. Even if you like get married, you have to continue to date them, you know? Not other people, just them. Do I tell her I have ED right away? Last girl dumped me because she didn't want to wait an hour. Maybe next time you pop a pill before. I don't know. Doesn't that what Viagra's for? And I don't think you should tell a girl that right away. No, I think that you date a girl and then if you like her and you want to hook up, you just have to plan ahead. You know what I mean, my guy? Taking a poop in front of your significant other. I think that's so funny. But that was Ian Fidance, right? God, that guy's hilarious. They did that to some guy in New York. Train station toilet. Ugh. All his dates talked about the same guy. How successful do you want your significant other to be? Have you heard from Dr. Drew lately? You know, I'm hoping Adam Ray comes on my show very soon. Blue Chew for the win. Get him for a second date. Who? Which guy? Let's see how many questions we have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Love 10, 11, 12. Oh, Dr. Drew. Hey, Win. What else could we ask him? I think 12 is a really good place because I have my menu and I can always refer to some old questions that I have in there. Is there music playing in the background? I'm getting like a low key garbled sound. You know, I'll tell you, outside, I live high up in the sky and I can hear the music from the bars down all the way down there. So there's nothing I can do about it. You should hear it in the apartment. It's sounds sometimes like I'm in the club with them and I'm not anywhere near it. So what you're hearing is my ambiance. Hello, Dennis. I'm doing well. How's the weather in LA? I don't know. I'm not in LA. Thank you, Dennis. Do you prefer a meal or a salad? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Makes sense. My doggie, she's passed out. Do I wake her up? Do I grab her and make her do an appearance on camera? I feel like she always does an appearance for us. She can wake up. All she does is sleep all day. Surmaid, they need to chill. No, I live in a apartment. Penny, Penny, come here. Will you come here? Penny. Y'all, this dog is so tired. She just yawned in my face. Penny, come here. Can I have you? Come here. You know how she comes? I'm gonna show you guys a trick. Watch. I'm gonna put the computer a little farther back so that you can see this. If I pretend like I'm eating something, she'll come over here. Watch. She cannot see me. I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah, I got you. There was no food. I just psyched my dog out. Oh my goodness. Oh, come here, Tiny. This is Penny for anyone who doesn't know. Hi, I love you. She's a teacup Yorkie. She weighs 5 pounds. Her name is Penny Lane. She's over me because I don't have food. But how funny was that? Hey, you don't want to be on camera? You don't want to be on camera? Oh my gosh, what a predictable little dog. Should a blind date be taken seriously even if it goes sideways? No. If a date doesn't go well, you don't have to take it seriously. But I do think you should take a date seriously if you're like going into it and you've like committed to it, right? I would say so. I will pay the cheese tax later for sure. She went right back to her poof and now she's laying back down again. She's like, do I only invite comics on the show? No, I invite musicians. I've been supposed to have Dustin Lynch come on the show, but we keep missing each other and having to reschedule. But I've had the actor from Shazam come on the show. I've had his name was Zach Levi. I've had some other people. They're not all comics. I'd love to have other people on the show, actually. Penny Lane, I actually named her after the Beatles song, Penny Lane. You know how that one goes? Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There, beneath the blue suburban skies, I sit and meanwhile back something. I don't know. I can't sing. But that's what she was named after because I went to England one time and I went to Liverpool. And when I was in Liverpool, I had a private tour and I'm a Beatles fanatic. I love the Beatles. So I went to Liverpool just to do this tour and see where they were from and the Cavern Club. And I saw Eleanor Rigby's grave and I saw, oh my gosh, like everything you could imagine. Like the whole entire town is the Beatles. I saw where they were all born, the houses they grew up in. I saw strawberry fields. I saw the orphanage that John went to. And I saw Penny Lane. And Penny Lane was such a pretty street. And I got a really pretty picture in front of it. And to this day, it's always just been like kind of memorable. So I came home and I got a dog and I named her Penny Lane. Um, Germany, hello. Worst breakoff story? What do you mean? Wait, where, why did all of this just go sideways? I've actually never smelt a penny fart. I'm sure she does, but I've never smelt one. Persian cats? Okay. Who's hobos? Who's my favorite actor that I would like to have on my show? I don't know. I don't know who I'd like to have on. I feel like that's always kind of like changing for me. Like I'd love to have like Zac Efron on because he's like the kind of guy where I'm so curious about his dating life, you know? He was like this child star that was way too like good looking, almost to the point where he was like a douchebag, but he was like also had a good personality, like Channing Tatum. Like one of those, like the Magic Mike guy. Like, has that movie like influenced his dating life? I'd love to know. Love to have those people on the show. Are women hesitant to date you thinking they aren't fun enough for you? Um, Hold on. My chat is like going up and down and it's skipping ahead. So I'm having to like roll backwards. Oh, I just saw that someone tipped me, but I can't see who it is. Oh, D, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will get on Twitch soon. Your favorite musician to have on is Paul McCartney, for sure. But I mean, come on. That's like seriously dreaming. Zach Galifianakis. Oh my gosh, he would be so funny. What an idol. Man, I should I should reach out to him. Sometimes I slide in people's DMs and I ask them if they want to come on the show, like Theo Vaughn. I asked him if he'd come on the show. I asked Bobby Lee if he'd come on the show. I even messaged Dolly Parton. I was like, it can't hurt. And if someone responds and they come on the show, then it's a win-win for all of us. Being a Beatles fan, did I ever see Love in Vegas? Okay, hold on. Let's talk about this for a moment. I've seen Beatles Love like 3 or 4 times. It is an amazing show. It's by far the best show in Vegas. And the saddest part about the show is that it's ending this month because MGM or something is like someone's taking it over and they're doing all this reconstruction and they're ending the show and they're not sure that it's going to come back. So the saddest part about it is if you haven't seen it and you're not going to get to see it in June, you'll probably never see it. And that's really sad because it really was the best show by far in Vegas. Chuck Berry Yoko Ono video? No. Will you please comment that on my Patreon so I can go back and watch that? Antonio Banderas would be good too. Bobby Lee is always checking his DMs. He responded to mine within an hour. David Spade would be good. Oh gosh, I need to remember. Oh, someone write that on my Patreon on underneath this live link. I want the Yoko Ono thing commented and David Spade and other people that you guys think would be really good that I can probably approach like that. Like David Spade, I've met him a few times at Laugh Factory, so I'll be able to get him. I should play Hogwarts. I will. Yeah, Kyle. I'm so glad you got to see it too. Oh, Vince is already on it. Vince has commented. Thank you. Jay Leno would come on. That'd be fun. Hello, Sasha. Is that your name? Sugar free? Who's that? Ian Bag? These names need to be commented. If you comment these names on my Patreon underneath this live, I promise you, I will DM all the people that you guys comment and let you know what they say if they respond. Am I ever going to have my man in real life come on the First Date show? No. I've asked him many times. I'm like, would you please come on? And he said, no, absolutely not. He would never do it. So I don't think we're ever going to get him on the show. Although that is my dream guest. The last thing he wants to do is talk about dating. Bill Cosby, whoa, Raj, you're wild for that. Jim Carrey would be sick. That is a red flag. Tom Brady, man, imagine. I'm sure he's tired of getting roasted. It's like, come on my show. Let me just ask you some questions about dating and jujitsu. Did you guys watch the Tom Brady roast? And did you guys think that they went in too hard about the Giselle thing? Do you think he got tired of it? Do you think they should have gone a little easier, or was it funny? Oh, Cat Williams would be a blast, wouldn't he? Vanilla Ice, he's definitely not doing anything. Oh my God, you're right. He probably checks his DMs like Bobby Lee. No, I haven't shot an episode. I shoot an episode tomorrow. Nikki Glaser was great. No, it was funny. Giselle would be an amazing guest. Man, I'd love to get a supermodel on. I don't think you can pull punches on a roast. You have to go full throttle. True. But I'm sure that he knew it, Like, come on. You don't go into a roast with all those comics and then not expect them to go in hard on your relationship situation. I don't care about Tom Brady's feelings. Eminem, yeah. Shakira, I bet she's available. Jennifer Lopez, she's going through a breakup. Oh, Tyler. Kate Upton would be a good one for sure. Would I do a roast if I were asked? Yeah, I would love to. The Rock, Chris Evans. Have you ever interviewed a couple on a show? Yeah, I had Jim Norton and Nikki Horton, and then I've had a few couples on the show. I've had like 2 sets of 2 girls that were like best friends. Holly Madison, man, you know who said she would do my show if I ever wanted to go to Vegas and do like it remote? Dita Von Teese. She said she would do it. She was like, if you come to Vegas and you want, like, I'll do your show. How cool would she be? Conor McGregor. And I got we could get Nadav on the show and see how he's doing. Why don't we do that? I should ask them if they'll get Nadav in my seat. What's the biggest, not necessarily the worst, but the biggest mistake that you've made in your career? Oof. Probably listening to reps. It's probably the biggest mistake I ever made. Sometimes I have found that representatives will tell you to hold back and like not pursue certain job opportunities because they want you to like be harder to get or wait for something bigger to come around, when an opportunity that I can think of was like pretty cool and I passed on it because I wanted to wait for the bigger thing because that's what I was being advised to do. I'll give you I'll tell you exactly a situation that I'm talking about. Need more camera space. So I had this audition. Sorry, hang on for the chat because I'm going to miss a bunch of questions if you guys ask questions. If you want to chat, but I'm going to miss questions over this story. So I booked this job with Google, and this had to have been like 8 years ago. Actually, I can search it. Hold on. When was Help by Justin Lin released? 2015. So in 2015, I did this job and it was called Help with Google. And it was the coolest thing I think I've ever done. So if you have your phone and you go to Spotlight Stories, it's an app. So if you go to the App Store, download Google Spotlight Stories. And then there's a film that you can watch. It is 360 virtual reality called Help. And it's directed by Justin Lin. So Justin Lin directed all of the Fast and Furious movies. Maybe not all of them, but like a large amount of them. He's a massive, massive director. He did True Detective. Like he was one of the, I think one of the, I think it was True Detective. He directed that too. But tons of stuff. He's a massive director. Well, I booked this job and the whole thing was like this one camera that was in the room and it had 4 cameras on it. And so if I walked around the camera, it's how they began making virtual reality in films. So you can watch this movie on your phone, and if you hear a helicopter, you can like look up and see the helicopter, and then if there's a door or a sound, you can like move your phone and like it's like you're in the world. It's like instead of putting Oculus on your face, you can just watch it on your phone. And so the only person, they were casting one girl and an alien that they made out of like CGI. So I booked this role, and I did this job for probably like a month, and I got really close with the director and the director of photography, and I met like the heads of Google and all this stuff. And again, this was like, it was released in 2015, which means we probably shot it in 2013. And it was like my first like really big job, and it won 4 Cannes Lion Heads at the Cannes Film Festival in France. And so it also performed really well, and it made all of these appearances at like those like Comic-Con things where they like show these new experiences. And so anyway, I had a manager at the time, and this thing came out, and he thought I was going to be this huge star, and I was going to like have this big breakout thing, and he like really put that in my head. And the director sent me an email and asked me if I would be in his next movie, and was like, would you just be like at the end of the movie? There's only one line. It's not that big of a deal, but like, we just did this awesome project together, and I'd love for you to just be this like kind of like extra in my movie, but I'll feature you. Well, my manager told me not to do it. And he was like, you just got done like with this huge film that won all these awards at the Cannes Film Festival. And the last thing you want to do is go be like an extra in a film. Like, that's not a good look. So I listened to the manager, and I told the director no. And I was just like, hey, I'm actually unavailable. I'm not going to be able to do that. And I turned him down. And I never heard from the director again. I've reached out to him. I like sent him follow-up emails, asked him how he was doing. Dude, totally burned that bridge, because he was like asking for like a favor and wanted to like get me on his next project. And I was just like too good for it, because this manager told me not to do it. And I seriously regret that, because I think that just like sucks. Like, I wish I wouldn't have done that, because I also really enjoyed working with this director, and I just like never heard from him again. I lost that connection. So anyway, that was like a bad move of my career, for sure. So here we are on first date, living the dream as a stand-up comic. In a film, driving in a car. Rocky Gervais. I don't know who that is. Lauren and the Alien, for sure. The film is called Help, if anyone wants to see it. I'll write it here. It's called Help by Justin Lin on Google Spotlight Stories. You can download Spotlight Stories. It's an app. If you want to see that, that is like honestly one of the coolest things I've ever done. Anyways, you guys. Oh, I should ask him to be on first date, but he doesn't respond to me anymore. The movie I wanted to be an extra in, it was called, I think, like The Adventures in Hollywood. It was like something like that. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it was like The Adventures in Hollywood. Any good shows I'm watching? Bridgerton. I can't believe that the last 4 episodes aren't released until like next month. That's bullshit. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for the questions on Sal, listening to my stories. I always enjoy talking to you guys. Remember to comment on my Patreon the names of people that I should slide in their DMs. I will do that, and I will let you know who responds. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for tuning in and for supporting me and my little tiny itty bitty dog. Bye, guys. Good night.